Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I want to talk about something that is a concept that I'm sure we've all heard before, and that is gratitude. Especially during this time of year, I feel that gratitude is a practice that we are reminded of and the importance of it and how it can transform our perspective about life. I find it harder and harder these days to really cultivate a sense of true gratitude for the things that we have, to not take them for granted, and to use it as a very strong reminder that we have a lot to be thankful for in this life. I feel that the end of the year naturally brings out our introspective nature and asks us to look back and to reflect. So because this channel is about self-discovery, and that's not just finding ourselves out in the world, but it's also finding ourselves right here. Part of what I really want to encourage for anyone who's watching is to understand and to be curious about how rich that inner world really is. And there's so much to be found there, so much healing, peace, joy, and gratitude. So that's what this video today is all about, and it's also to prime you for the upcoming weeks where, as time slows down, the days get shorter and the cold winter slowly creeps in. It's a great time to cozy up, take a moment to reflect on what you were grateful for this year and what joys, challenges, lessons, and new experiences that 2024 brought for you. I'll also be sharing some practical ways I cultivate gratitude in my daily life through rituals that ground me in a sense of deeper meaning no matter the time of year. These are practices I've kept up with for years now and somehow always come back to when I need a reminder of how precious and fleeting life really is. Cultivating gratitude is a lifelong journey. It's going to ebb and flow. We're not always going to feel thankful for everything that is happening to us in our lives, but nonetheless, gratitude is what creates meaning in our life. If we're feeling lost, empty, or purposeless, this is a simple place to come back to, where we can find meaning, joy, and purpose in our life again. So let's dive into it. The way I like to think about gratitude is there are three parts to the experience of feeling grateful. The precursor to any sense of gratitude is experience, life experience. You have to have lived in order to have context in which you can be grateful. And what I mean by this is that as human beings, we have to accept and embrace the full spectrum of what life offers us. The contrasting nature of our life experiences, of everything from the mundane to our most memorable days, is a balance of complementary moments that give each other meaning and, in turn, allow us to feel this thing called gratitude. In order to feel it, we must live it. We must soak in all the experiences ahead of us, marinate in those of our past, and savor the ones right in front of our eyes, waiting to be enjoyed. And this is not an easy thing to do. Living life fully and authentically requires something many of us left behind a long time ago, somewhere in our childhood, and that is bravery. It takes guts to live life exactly the way you dream of, to jump into experiences both good and bad and allow them to shape you for the better. When you give yourself permission to experience this full spectrum that life has to offer, there is so much to be grateful for. But sometimes a little visualization can help here. Something I've been doing for the past few years is drawing a life graph. It's a way to visualize what happened in the year. What did your full spectrum of life look like? Seeing everything on paper somehow gives you the space to observe and analyze your life with less scrutiny and more appreciation for the dips and the curves and peaks, the way each of these need each other in order to exist. You'll see the moments of stillness or stalling, the transitions, the trembles, and triumphs. So if you're feeling like 2024 was a whirlwind of a year, try this exercise out to ground yourself and see the trajectory of where you were at the beginning of the year and where you're going at the end of it. Being able to see our life experiences for everything that it is the first step to cultivating a deeper sense of gratitude in this thing called life. The second thing that needs to happen is awareness, full conscious awareness of your lived experiences. Becoming fully aware of what we live through and what we experience requires being present. And this is something I know all of y'all, including myself, have a very hard time doing. We either live in the future and we're constantly anxious about planning for, awaiting, hyperfixating on certain goals, doom scrolling and preparing for the worst, or we are stuck in the past and ruminating, replaying memories in our mind, feeling a sense of nostalgia, whether good or bad, towards what used to be, and then throw all the other distractions on top of that. So the importance of being aware and present in your everyday life and not allowing ourselves to get pulled away by these other distractions is a real challenge. And that is why feeling grateful for anything these days feels really hard. How are we supposed to be grateful for something that we're not really even paying attention to? This is the place where I think a lot of people get stuck. It means facing certain emotions and truths about ourselves and about life that are not always reassuring or comfortable. But I cannot emphasize enough how this part is actually where meaning is cultivated, where meaning grows out of. When we are curious about our life experiences, when we think about them, reflect on them, and really fully soak in everything that we're feeling and experiencing, and we can name that, that is when we start to have the language and the ability where we can start to develop a sense of gratitude for. So how do we bring awareness to our life experiences? Well, there are many ways to do this, and I'm sure you've tried some of them, but awareness, in essence, is a practice of observation. It is becoming conscious of the internal and external worlds colliding as we live and breathe each moment. This may look like many things, but at the core of our awareness is our senses. How are we sensing ourselves in the world? What do we see, hear, taste, touch, and feel in our lived experiences? What stands out to us? What details feel etched into our minds with great specificity? Becoming aware of these details and the greater story being told through our life experiences requires time and space to process. One of the most tried and true ways humans have done this over millennia is through the practice of writing. A simple pen to paper is a great way to become aware of how your life is unfolding. It is documentation, living proof of what you are experiencing and living on a day-to-day basis. Spending time writing is really a gift to your future self. And if you have a hard time doing it, start small. One entry, just one entry a day. It could be about anything, but most importantly, it should be about you and what you're noticing about your life. This helps us become fully aware of our lived experiences, what they mean to us, and gives us a chance to look at them with curiosity, to read back and ask questions, to reflect, and start to pull out meaning in places where we see it. I've been writing in this for the past 4 years. It quite literally is a book about my life because I have written in it every single day just about what has happened, what I'm feeling. Even if I never go back to read every single entry, it's documentation. It's proof that I have lived life, and that alone somehow reminds me that I've been through a lot. I have more life in me than I think I do. So the simple practice of journaling and writing down what you are experiencing on a day-to-day basis actually becomes the bulk of your stories. So now you have your lived experiences, you've become more aware of it. Where's the gratitude? How do we feel thankful for our lives? First and foremost, gratitude is not just a feeling. It is an active expression that elicits a feeling. There are small acts of gratitude available to us in our everyday lives. Some of these come culturally, some religiously or spiritually, or some just simply from our upbringing or the way we were raised. These small acts remind us to be thankful for the simple things: a warm meal, a roof over our heads, healthy bodies and minds. But there are deeper aspects to life that tend to take their time in growing appreciation as we age. Our friendships, family, creativity, our deep connection to one another, intuition, our sense of purpose, and our sense of self all grow deeper with time. The external focus to present your gratitude in grand gestures, I feel, takes away from the deeper inner world that does not need big claims or performative acts. It just needs your attention, bringing attention to what matters most, and then expressing how you feel about it in a way that is meaningful to you, not anyone else, just you. Gratitude is the garden of our hearts. When we cultivate each seed with care and attention, the budding flowers are so unique to our landscape and cannot be grown anywhere else. And all that to be said, gratitude is not a goal to be checked off. We shouldn't be every day striving to oh, did I feel grateful today? Check. Like anything in life, if we want to get better at it, we have to practice it. So just as you may have a morning routine or a nighttime routine, let's take care of our hearts and give ourselves 5 minutes in the morning or in the evening to listen to what we are feeling, to note down what we experience, to become more aware of what our lives are and what they mean. And from all of that, gratitude most likely and naturally will come to us. So I hope some or any of that resonates with you, and if you've made it this far into the video, jazz hands. Because that means that you really care about the meaning and purpose of your life. Gratitude is something that we can all cultivate. And again, it may ebb and flow with the seasons of life, but during this particular season, the year is coming to a close and we have a bit more time on our hands. Take this moment, find moments of gratitude whenever and however you can. You deserve it because these moments are fleeting and we don't get many of them. If anything, I want this channel to be a place where people are encouraged to find deeper meaning and joy in their lives. There's so much to be grateful for in this life that we really truly forget it sometimes, myself included. So I'll leave you with that. And if you feel inclined to share what you were grateful for, comment down below and let me know. That's all for now. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one.